We're deporting immigrants, but they're the ones who pick the fruits and vegetables upon which the Florida economy depends. But I have a solution. We're changing the law so children can go to work in the fields. That's the end of an empire. That's what happens. And no one says, boo. 14-year-olds will now be eligible to work until I think 9 at night. I mean, all kinds of things that the law forbade for children before. We're going to have child labor, and it's going to be good because, you see, you can pay the children as little as you got away with paying those immigrants.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. How many symptoms do you want to see before you go to the doctor? How many things are you going to face before you realize you got a different problem than the one you thought you had?
Well, already the crops are rotting in the fields in California. In Kern County, California, the largest agricultural county in the largest agricultural state in the country, immigrants are terrified to go to work since a series of Border Patrol raids have been going around and rounding up anyone even remotely suspected of being a farm worker, meaning anyone who looks Hispanic. By the way, in a county that is 56% Hispanic. This is the county that grows all of our fruits, all of our grapes for wine, nuts, almonds for almond milk, you name it. And there is no one to work the fields, and immigrants are now staying home, leaving the fields to go untended. If you thought food was too expensive, wait until you realize who grows our food. What on earth is wrong with Republicans? They're saying that 75% of immigrants have been staying home since these raids, terrified to go to work growing the food that we eat.
Now, I can hear you all say, you don't care, you're glad they're getting them. They're breaking the law, number one. They are criminals. They're not criminals. They are violating a civil violation, which is a fine or a penalty. It is not criminal, unlike the felon in the White House. That's a criminal. You will be complaining when you see no fruit, vegetables, and other crops in our grocery stores to eat. You will care when you see the prices escalate even higher. Isn't that the reason y'all supposedly voted for Trump? Because he was going to bring the prices down, and y'all could only complain and complain about everything under Biden. I don't hear y'all complaining about these out of control prices anymore that we continue to see everywhere thanks to Donald Trump. And all the prices that we've seen go up because of the trade deals or no trade deals and the tariffs.
What is wrong with us? Right now, you can see live photos from Oxnard, California, where ICE is lined up by the hundreds to arrest a bunch of people that's been working in the fields 12 to 14 hours today. You said it would be criminals, the worst of the worst. And except for one MS-13, nobody has seen jack shit out of you. But you're out there with riot gear, submachine guns, armored vehicles, trying to arrest a bunch of farm workers who are so tired they can probably barely drag themselves home. What is wrong with us? The worst of the worst. Nobody's arguing about you taking criminals. Nobody. But you're out there getting a bunch of old ladies and people that have worked 12 to 14 hours a day and letting the criminals go free.
You can feel the frustration in that clip, and honestly, they're not wrong. This deportation aren't just immigration enforcement. They're tearing apart the food chain. Those Latino farm workers, they're not criminals. They are feeding America, and they have been doing the jobs that no one wants to do. So deporting them doesn't solve anything. It actually creates a bigger problem. Think about it. Like, these people wake up before the sunrise and work 10-hour days in 100 degrees heat and still don't complain. They're just working. They're not just working, they are holding up the entire industry. And yet they're being treated like they are disposable. Even people who support Take the Borders are starting to say that this isn't right. It's not a Latino issue, it's a food security issue, a price issue, and an economic issue. There's a real fear from the farming communities where farmers are watching their crews disappear, crops go unpicked, and money go down the drain, not just because the climate or the demand, because the labor force being deported right off under them. And that's why you're seeing more people speaking out, because even folks who once said build the wall now realize that they have just bulldozed their own food system. It's not just about people that don't like it, it's just that people are scared of what's coming next.
Our farmers are being hurt badly by, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, great. And we're going to have to do something about that. We can't take farmers and take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to have. And I think we can't do that to our farmers. And leisure, too, hotels. We're going to have to use a lot of common sense on that.
So Trump got a hold of this and got a second thought. He said, how about we let these farmers, how about we let these owners keep them? He said it just like that, like immigrants are some sort of Pokemon that you just catch and get to keep and release whenever you want.
Have a system of signing them up so they don't have to go. They can be here legally. They can pay taxes and everything. They're not getting citizenship, but they get other things.
So pretty much farmers get to sign up their workers. Like, he's been with me 10 years. That one right there, 5 years. He's one of the good ones. Trump, please keep him here. I need him. And Trump said, okay, you get to keep them, but they're still not going to get citizenship. They're going to work. And they're going to get other things. He didn't specify what other things. Maybe an extra 5-minute break or something.
Are we making slavery okay in 2025? Trump just said that if farmers decide to take responsibility for the Hispanic workers that have been working their field for 10 or 15 years, then they can keep them and they don't have to be deported as long as they take responsibility for them. Does that sound familiar? You know why all this sounds familiar? Because after slavery, they used sharecropping and also convict leasing to tie black people to the land. They did not have a voice. They were afraid because their boss held all the power above their head. This is the exact same thing, but now it's with Hispanics. That's not compassion, that's control. Keeping people in the field, but they have no voice. They have no citizenship. They have no real freedom. It's just a business deal. It keeps their business rolling. They don't have a voice, but they can pay taxes. I mean, this is the same play. Work decades, pay taxes, live in fear.
That statement is deeply disturbing. Trump is literally proposing that the farmers be granted the ownership style, control over the workers. Are we really saying that in 2025? The language he used, talking about farm owners getting the rights to their labor, doesn't sound like a reform. It sounds like something we said 150 years ago. This is not fixing a labor shortage. It's institutionalizing the forced labor. And when you start using words like assigned worker to farms and ownership and control over them, that's not a policy. It's a blueprint to slavery. This is exact kind of rhetoric that got people out of protesting in the streets before. And here we are again. Not only this time, it's being packaged as a solution to food shortages. And don't worry, we're just making people work whether they want or not. These are human beings, migrants not, they are not. They are human beings and they should have their own rights. You can't just slap a number behind them and treat them like you want. If anything, this kind of thinking shows that how desperate the administration is to fill the gaps that it has made by deporting these farm workers. So we have to be clear. This crisis, solving this crisis by removing the rights from others is not leadership. It's a bad thing for the government.
Oh, MAGA, you're in trouble. Apparently there's a shortage of workers on the farm. But don't worry, MAGA. Brooke Collins, who heads agriculture, says that she has a solution. Seems like Trump and Brooke Collins have put their heads together and come up with a solution to solve the problem on the farms losing workers. Let's watch the video and see what Brooke Collins has to say to solve this issue.
Score enough. There will be no amnesty. The mass deportations continue, but in a strategic way, and we move the workforce towards automation and 100% American participation, which again, with 34 million people, able-bodied adults on Medicaid, we should be able to do that fairly quickly. Thank you.
Did you hear that, MAGA? They're saying if you're able-bodied and on Medicaid, you are going to work in the fields. MAGA, this is where it hits you. You're going to work in the fields. And you're going to see what it's like for these undocumented immigrants to come to America and work a hard day's labor in the American fields. Get ready to pack up Mima and Pop-Pop and put them on a bus and send them to the fields, MAGA. That's what you voted for, and that's what you deserve.
I saved this story for today so you can get a good laugh to start your Wednesday morning off. Yesterday, Trump's Secretary of Agriculture said that she wants to replace all the migrant workers that they're deporting with U.S. citizen workers who are on Medicaid. The problem with that is majority of people on Medicaid are children, the disabled, or the elderly. So he's going to have children, elderly, and disabled people picking our fruits and veggies. Now, there are some people that are able-bodied that need to fulfill the work requirements they have now. She's saying that's why this will be done, because they have to fulfill these work requirements, so they're just going to send them to the fields to pick the fruits and veggies. This is not a joke. This is what they said. Trump's agricultural secretary yesterday said this.
So now we've gone from deporting essential workers to forcing sick and low-income people to work on farms. And if that's not enough, the backup plan is the robots. Like, really? Let's talk about the Medicaid part first. These people who rely on the healthcare insurance, some of them are disabled, elderly, or chronically ill, forcing them to manual labor, a condition to keep their healthcare. It's not a policy, it's a bad thing. Imagine telling someone you can't breathe. Well, you're on the medication, but there's a strawberry field, so get to work or you lose your treatment. It's so unethical. And as for the robots, we already seen that farm automation doesn't replace human labor. Like you're about to see in the next videos. These robots, they can just do barely a picking of the fruits. And this is not the real solution. It's a panic move. The Latino farm workers are skilled and they know what they're doing. But instead of opening a legal and human labor pathways, they want to plug holes and desperate people and the broken tech. Like, I'm all for the innovation and I'm all for the national reform. This isn't a plan, it's exploitation disguised as a strategy. So, what are you guys thinking? Like, is this a good solution for the immigration crackdown that's been happening to the farmers' work, to the farm workers? I don't think it is. Yes, so if you haven't already and if you made this far, please like and subscribe.
Hey everybody, it's Will. I wanted to let you know that I appeared on News Nation this morning to talk about the overwhelming increase in farmer bankruptcies this year in the United States of America. Already this year, since President Trump took office, we've had more farmer bankruptcies under Section 12 than we had in the entire year in 2024. This is being caused by a lot of the policies that President Trump passed, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to these bankruptcies.